Hello, welcome back to another episode of Somewhere Between a Film and TV podcast. We are your hosts. I'm Daniel Parra.
And I'm Erwin.
And number one, thank you so much for listening and watching. Number two, what are they going to do?
They're going to like, comment, and subscribe.
Please do. Erwin, what is it that we are reviewing?
Another war movie.
Another war
Warfare.
movie? Yep, So...
But this time it's good.
War is not good.
It's necessary.
So... No.
Don't you have a battle inside you?
Oh, if we're talking about
the war within.
The war of the will and the way. Yeah, sure. But
those are my favorite ones.
I think you were to tell me that you were like pro-war or something. I was like, okay, let's start over.
I was like, okay, we need to restart, guys.
To preface this movie itself, because I've seen some people before it came out, before they saw it, they were like, I bet that this is going to be propaganda, like pro-Iraq war. I don't think I've seen a single war movie I would call a pro-war movie.
Yeah.
I don't think I would
you
ever.
Was it Schlonglers?
Schindler's List?
Schlong List.
Schindler's List?
What?
Schindler's List.
Schindler.
Yeah.
I can't pronounce it. Why can't I pronounce it?
I don't know. The movie with Ray Fine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where it's like black and white.
Yeah.
And except for that one scene where it's red.
You mean the girl?
The little girl wearing a red jacket, yes.
Yeah. But anyway, I was like, that is not right. Because
it's pro-Nazi.
Dude, no, it's not. It's the opposite.
You got distracted, huh?
No, because that reminds me of like any other kind of argument where they're like
American History X.
No, if they depict anything, then all of a sudden they're pro that thing. It's like the thing I was complaining about earlier. I think that this movie is an indictment of the Iraq War, but it did the exact same thing Civil War did, where instead of making a direct political statement, it's like, this is what this looks like. Do you think that we agree with this?
Yeah.
And
I think people need to realize when it comes to trailers too, it's all about marketing.
Yeah.
And like, how do you get people to talk about it first, and but also for sure like get them to into theaters.
What I remember about the trailer for this is I just thought it looked great. I don't fully. I like
the concept of it too, where it's just like it's based on a true story, based off of somebody's like memories,
based off of more than like multiple people's memories. For some reason, I thought this was like a lone survivor situation where only one person was going to live at the end of it, but that wasn't the case. But before we get into everything, I guess this is based off of a historical event, or at least like compiled of separate memories of one, which is a great idea, like you said. But again, everything we reviewed does have full spoilers though, and I didn't necessarily know everything that was going to happen going into this movie.
I didn't know either. And
a lot of it does kind of thrive off of a shock factor. So moving forward with this movie, did you love it? Did you hate it? Or are you somewhere between?
I loved it.
I did too. I loved it. Yeah. I thought that... I want to get this out of the way because I told you it was one of my first thoughts. Oh. The casting, and they've been direct about this. It has like Will Poulter and Noah Centineo and Kit Connor?
Kit Connor.
Joseph Quinn. So many separate names. The guy from May December, like you said, in Riverdale.
Yeah. I
think they specifically went out of their way, and I know I'm right about this because they said that they did.
Yeah.
That
I know I'm right. I don't care what anyone else says.
They took the whole idea of like the internet boyfriend, like the internet like TikTok edit that you see like thirst traps over to really get you to fully identify with people that like you might associate with this kind of like soft personality or this kind of charming personality. And they were like, hey, what if we put Joseph Quinn in the absolute most like torturous position we can think of throughout like half this movie, which I thought was so strategically smart in the sense of like, oh, we are going to get you to understand and care, even though you don't necessarily know anything about these people going into it
anything
or going out of it.
Yeah.
And we've complained about that before because I've called Dunkirk a technically perfect movie, but for whatever reason, the craft behind that prevented me from loving, like, I would call that movie a masterpiece that I don't, like, put on all the time.
See, and I think, well, at least with Dunkirk, I just thought of it just because of the fact that you follow these characters, and it's, like, literally half the people that you see in warfare.
Yeah.
Like that amount of people. Like I think it was like 4 people, like what 3 or 4 people that you follow in Dunkirk.
Yeah.
So I can see why, like, just the characters alone wasn't the drive for it. So.
But then something separate about this one that like works on a different level than that for me is because I don't know if it's because we spend so much time with just these people. Like you don't cut away to anything else. The only thing they really cut away to is like drone footage.
Yeah. I think what really stands out about this movie was the fact that for sure it's tension.
Yeah.
The tension in this movie is amazing. I think they utilize it a lot, especially in times when you think something's going to happen, but it doesn't. It's just the feeling. Because what I got from it, a lot of the times in this movie where you feel like something's about to happen, but nothing's going to happen. Nothing happens, and it's just like you feel that way because that's how the characters were feeling. Like the actual people in this were feeling at the time. Yeah. And I think what benefits a lot from this movie is the fact that they were in one location.
Yeah.
And so like you felt accustomed and like used to this one location. So then it just built more of like this tension from this movie as well.
I was even trying to describe somebody like this movie today. And they were like, what's the mission that they were on in this? And I was like, I don't think they say.
They don't know. They don't. Like, they didn't say. So like, they just more so like they secured a location first.
They got stuck there.
And they get stuck in that location.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. And they just try to survive in that location.
And they have to leave like almost immediately after. Like why were they in this situation? I don't know. It's set up in this way where like one very, very smart thing is how this movie opens. It's with like the music video where these dudes are just super horny for like
you're a bunch of guys in a room. Of course we're all gonna be horny, am I right?
There's only 2 of us.
Oh. You have to say it like that.
Us crowding around your TV watching like music videos, like
yeah. Us watching any K-pop music video.
But the whole thing about like the whole thing about that is to really kind of gravitate towards just you understand that these are like another thing about casting these people, they have young faces.
Yes.
I think that was also, no matter how old Joseph Quinn, I think he's like 20 something, but he's definitely older than, let's say, Kit Connor.
Yeah.
But that's not the point.
Yeah.
The point is to see these like young looking people put themselves in this situation and now understand that at the very beginning, they're kind of clueless about what it is they're going to get into. Probably. Do we know that they're like they know they're going to get into that? No. But we have to put ourselves into the shoes of this because this movie asks a lot of you on a visual and like level of being viscerally invested. It's way more about, I'm not going to say it's like, oh, you need to be intellectual. And then like,
no,
you literally need to be paying attention.
Yeah.
Is what you need to be doing.
I think the fact that they started off the beginning of this movie of them all, you know, laughing and like watching, like bonding with one another in the beginning, and then later on seeing that complete switch, right? It's like the innocence of them, and then like going through what's happening in the rest of the movie, they completely abandoned, and it's like survival mode at that point, and like you see everyone's reactions. And a lot of it, I think it's just one of those things too. It's like also realizing like we don't recognize like how people react to certain situations as well. Like some people are competent and like are able to get through this. Other people just stand there. Yeah. And just like are still in shock of what just happened.
No, because one of them at one point was like, "What the fuck is he doing?" And I was like, "I would be in that situation. Like, I wouldn't move. I'd be like, what
just happened?" Type of thing.
Yeah, because like you'd said earlier, there's a moment in this where you spend so much of it like, when's the thing gonna happen? Something's going to happen, and when it happens, like before the IED stuff, before the like the tank thing, even before that, the way the grenade is tossed in there is so just like you're watching it and your brain yourself.
You think it because like before the grenade, it was like you see a guy with a gun. Yeah. And then the guy asks us like, "Why didn't you shoot?" And he's like, I don't know. Yeah. Too. And you're just like, what's happening?
It's actually random. It kind of ties into the other movie review, The Amateur, where it's like you freeze before you do anything. But I think it's just really kind of like how war itself, it's sold. And this is me mostly critiquing those like U.S. Air Force commercials or whatever that are edited to look like Call of Duty.
Oh, and
how many times do you see those? And then it's like, join us, and then it looks straight like an advert for Black Ops 7 that's coming out soon.
There's a Black Ops 7 now?
Call of Duty boy. Do you remember when they, instead of putting IV, they put one like I, so people call it Call of Duty boy.
Is that the 7th one?
That's the 4th one.
Oh no, dude, that's awesome.
It's like, why?
People are so creative.
I think they just didn't get the Roman numeral right.
Okay. Oh, dude.
But
boy.
Something that I thought was really interesting about this is this one's also very procedural.
Yes.
Like, it kind of trusts you to be like, we're going to say a bunch of terms. You technically don't know them because you're not in the, like, I was like, I don't know what they're
I don't know what they were
I know what they're saying contextually, right?
Also, it's like based on their mannerisms too, and like what they're about to do, you kind of pick up on what they're trying to.
And I was watching behind the scenes stuff about this, and they were like, they really wanted to nail how combat looked and how it felt, and I can't speak on if that's realistic or not, but what I will say is it definitely looked different to me than, like, let's say
I would say it looks different just because of the fact that they were in one location. Because I think a lot of times in other war movies too, you tend to like go from like one stage, one scene to another, like a completely different environment over and over again, and you don't really get to sit and like experience what's going on in that one particular location.
It's not grand. It's not trying to be. It's trying to show, I think, what a first-hand experience feels like. You don't really follow anyone in particular. There's not a main character in this movie. It's Will Poulter takes lead and then literally removes himself and is like, I don't want to do this anymore. And
he's like, I can't do it. I can't think.
Yeah. Which I thought was really smart because sometimes in war movies we see like the character in the corner that like obviously he's like, I've been through some stuff, man, and then like it's all the other people that are like, he's whatever, and then of course something happens with him. I'm pretty sure Fury does this, but then eventually they're like, oh man, now we understand him. Here though, a bunch of people we follow like get completely screwed, and then it's whenever the other people show up, it kind of makes you like not hate them, but you kind of like resent how they're acting a little bit and treating the situation because they didn't have to deal with it. So
which one's like the second team that came in?
The second team that came in,
I mean, they were outside and they were. But if anything, that was like worse. I think it's just the fact that they didn't seem like none of them died.
Yeah, I
think like not died, but like got hurt.
I think that's what was affecting them because they were like stepping on the people's legs. I was like, dude, what? I was like, come on, guys. But
then it goes to show like they're still human, right? Like it's not like in other war movies where like it would be depicting like characters like they're just basically written, and not like based off of like experience too. Because now it goes to show like they get people in who think it's gonna be something of like a certain way, but like no, this is a reality. It's like when those like little mistakes happen, it gives like a very human.
And we have our own thoughts on like how the military markets itself and everything, but in terms of this movie alone itself, it very much. I remember when Civil War came out, not the Spider-Man, the Captain America one, not with Iron Man, but the one from last year.
Yes.
This feels very much like a spiritual successor. If you just like, it feels very much like not a sequel, but like it is in the same exact wheelhouse of.
If anything, this felt like the part where at the very end of Civil War was like where people thought like majority of the movie was gonna be, where it's just that.
I'd imagine if you were going into that movie wanting that, you got it. This is it. Like this.
Yeah, it's like I just wanted a scene where like soldiers fought like other people, like other soldiers.
100%. If you want that, this is that movie from beginning to end. It is like it plays out almost in real time, just like Drop did, sorta. But I really loved that about it, and it is so good at tension, like you said. Like, I kind of caught myself doing this like the whole time to my seat. The only thing though, I'm gonna complain again, but like it's not anybody talking. It was just that I hate the smell of beer, man. And then, like,
oh, dude, I can't. It's like you always have something to say about.
I did.
Is anybody in like the movie theater just having some bad experience?
This guy ordered like 5 beers, and I thought
5 beers.
I know. I thought it was super weird.
Oh, jeez.
The server even was like, this. He had already been like on his 3rd by the time that I got there kind of early, right? This dude, I guess, was just like having the time of his life.
He's probably at the bar too.
I bet he smelled like beer.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Can I get another electric jellyfish?" And then the server guy was literally like, "You know that this has some pretty gory scenes," and he was like, "I'll be fine." And then during the movie, he did lean over to talk to me at one point.
Oh, he did?
Of course he did. Yes. And he was like, "Hey, let me know if that check is mine." I was like.
Dude, this only happens to you. I'm glad I'm never going to the movies with you.
What the fuck, man?
Dude, because you get the bad ones apparently. I don't know what's wrong with you.
What's wrong with me? I guess
it's just a magnet. It's like you want your theater experience to be so perfect that the universe is like, actually, no.
I think I've been fated by the world for this to be my favorite thing in the world.
War.
Like,
you have a war within you.
I have a war. The wolf wanting to break out, and then it's like. To yell chicken jockey at the Minecraft movie. But
I'm a chicken.
Do you have any more positives with this? I know it's like not the most.
It's I don't know. Like I think I like the fact that you brought up that whole thing where they got the specific actors.
Yeah.
And having these young faces because it definitely added more tension through the movie as well, and the fact that you didn't really know much about the characters, so worked. Too, just because now you wanted everyone to be safe as well. So I don't know. It's like there wasn't much going on in this movie too to say.
I felt very much like when I was walking out of it that I was like, oh my god, I didn't breathe.
Yeah,
I was like, I was wondering if honestly I felt like my theater could have been louder. Not the crowd, that'd be weird.
Yeah,
but I mean like literally, I've heard that this has some of the best sound mixing of the year. I feel like I didn't fully get to get that just because. I also kind of felt like, I don't know if they dialed back the sound or something. It just didn't feel... I remember how loud Civil War was. And this one was also pretty loud. And the part where like it got me the most anxious is whenever the guy has the thing in his ear. Mm-hmm. And you can hear so many different overlapping audios while the background is happening. And there's like gunfire. And I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And
the one point though too where... He took like the guy who was working comms. Yeah. He took it off. It's like you need to work comms instead.
Yeah. That's another thing like something that you said that I fully agree with. I liked how human they all acted because they all slip up at some point and they all are like, what are you doing? And then they're like, what are you doing? And then
it's like everyone's experiencing like this for the first time too. And you definitely feel like this natural sense of just of like this situation that they're in.
No, and one thing that I really liked that separate reaction situations, Joseph Quinn and the other guy that both get like their legs blown off react to it almost completely differently.
Yeah.
And he was like, I need morphine. And the other guy's like freaking out.
Yeah.
When he's introduced like back in and his screams are, I think, throughout more than half the movie, I swear.
Dude, because it was just so loud.
Yeah.
And I felt like it was worse when you didn't hear it, but you see him screaming.
Yeah.
Like that felt like the loudest to me.
Yeah. Because even like no matter what part they are in the house, because they are all in the same location, it doesn't go away. Why would it?
Yeah, and it made me think of it just like, why are you screaming? Like you're making yourself known to like everyone else, even though like they know you're in there too. So
but it's not like you can. I mean, I'm not gonna put myself in a position I can't. But there's no way that I would react normally to that either. Like I don't think you're thinking with any kind of sense whenever you're in a situation like that.
Yeah, and
that's why. I think if anybody watches this and comes out of it, if you are like, I want to sign up for that's insane. Yeah. I don't think anybody's going into this coming out of it like, yeah, I'm like pro war. That's exactly what this is. Because I think sometimes people get caught up in this idea that just because a movie's a war movie, it's a pro war movie. But tell me the last time you saw a war movie that was like, yeah, this is good what we're doing.
I think because a lot of movies itself, they want to end in a good note or on a good note, like was it Saving Private Ryan, right? Like the main goal was to save Private Ryan. Yeah. And it ended, in that good happy note where he got to like live his life and have a family and everything.
That's not a very positive movie either, though.
But it did end that way, right? And this one, it did not end that happy note either. It's just like
kind of ended.
It just
was
ends. Yeah. And like and I think that also leaves like a good message of like all this event happened like in a span of like however long, right? Like an hour, let's say. Yeah. And they just barely, they didn't even like move from that one location whatsoever, and like people got hurt, and then now they were just, and they got to like exit,
Yeah.
Too, and it was just like you just felt like all this tension from it, and like you did what? Nothing. Maybe you shot some people, maybe you didn't.
And I don't think they did. At least we don't know.
Yeah.
Do we? Do we even know?
We didn't see much. Yeah. Also,
they spent so much of it like after the whole explosion happened. So much of it's like in this like fog, not fog, but like smoke.
Yes.
And everything, and they're so disoriented. We're disoriented because you just hear all these sounds. Yes. And whenever they come out at the end, that left a weird impact on me. Whenever they all walked out, because you were like, it's like we didn't even know where they were.
Because it goes. I feel like it was trying to say something of like, well, if we weren't there, would they still be fighting?
Yeah,
probably not.
Well, the entire like commentary on the Iraq War was we had no business being there, and then like we left.
Yeah.
That's exactly kind of what happens in the isolated moment of this movie. Like, we don't know why they're there. They get stuck there.
Yeah.
They leave. And that's essentially, it's 95 minutes of that, more or less.
Also with the family, too. It's like they're confused. Like, what are you doing? Type of thing.
Which is sort of like, because they don't speak. I think the two people that spoke, like, the language, they died, right?
Yeah, because they're like, I don't want to say they're freedom fighters. But, like, they're definitely, like, on, like, the American side.
Yeah.
But also, like, trying to protect the country type of thing.
I would say they were sure as hell quick to send them out, like, first though.
Yeah.
And they didn't really even explain. A lot of it's you piecing together, like, okay, what is their role here with each other? Some of them appear to be friends of a sort. Some of them are, like, seem like they barely know each other, which I liked that about this as well. And I also liked just how much there would be small moments like we have to get back into that room and grab that bag, and it is like the most intense thing.
Yeah, it's you want to go back in the room there was a grenade in?
Yeah, you're like, no.
Yeah.
And
or it's like they went, or like that one guy, he went in, didn't even like actually check the room and came back out.
Oh yeah, it was like yeah, you're good.
So I couldn't find it.
It's like I noticed you've been in that room for a while. I think that was Joseph Quinn. Like, I lived in there. Yeah. But do you have any negatives, or do you have any more positives?
No. I mean, I think that's all my positives, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any negatives?
I don't think so. Just because I felt like this movie was very straightforward, and it definitely, I don't know, it definitely worked with what it had.
For what it was going for, it felt very much like it was like a ticking time bomb, essentially. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't, but it feels like one that never even goes off. It feels like one that winds you up, and then it's like, all right, go home. And then, like... Oh, yeah. Because you kind of leave this movie, like, on edge. You're like, what the
like, what just happened?
Yeah. And then it shows all the behind-the-scenes stuff where it's like, oh, yeah, that's exactly how I did it. And then you're like...
Whoa, what?
Like, that's total, like, whiplash for what I just saw. But I get why they did it. Yeah. I was just kind of like, that threw me off a little bit. But my negatives aren't really... I don't have any... I mean, circumstantially, I don't know a lot about these characters. Yeah. But it's also asking me not to.
Yes.
So how do I say that's a negative if I also appreciate that about it?
Yeah.
It's just, I thought that, like you said, it worked for what it had. Is this, I'm not going to compare it to Civil War. They're very much similar, but they feel more like companion pieces. Like these are like
I would say that too.
Like you could call them like brothers in a sense.
Yeah.
Of like, that's exactly what they feel like. Will they make a third in this type of movie? I don't know.
Mm.
But
what would you like to see in a war movie? Do you ever think about it, or just
what would I like to see?
Yeah,
from this team, or just generally speaking?
Generally speaking,
I honestly don't know. There's been so many war movies, and so many of them are incredible.
A lot of them spend a lot of time in like World War II.
Yeah, I guess maybe a separate one. I mean, I'd love to see something back more medieval, just because. Yeah. But I don't know like what war stuff has to do with that.
Yeah. What's your favorite war movie? Or one of your top ones. Let's just say your top ones that you could think of right now.
Apocalypse Now is a cheat to say. That's everybody's go-to answer, I think.
Hacksaw Ridge.
I was going to say Hacksaw Ridge is up there. Lone Survivor is pretty great. With, fuck. I'm like stuck on Hacksaw Ridge.
I really liked American Sniper.
I liked it. I don't love it.
Yeah.
I think it kind of fumbles the ending a little bit, just because like I feel like that is a character study movie where they don't allow him to be vulnerable enough. They just tell me that he has PTSD, and I really don't feel like they break that down enough.
Yeah.
But
especially for a movie that's like That was definitely over 2 hours.
Yeah. So, no, it was like 2:17.
Yeah, so it was
2:14.
It definitely had enough time to do so.
Yeah, it's good. Don't get me wrong, but it also had. I remember it had that fake baby in it too. But
yeah.
I also remember that he trap bar deadlifts in that movie. You remember that?
That's what you remember specifically.
Yes.
Yeah. I remember just anytime like we see actors or actresses that work out. Or like they go, like, they do like these big body transformations, right? Yeah. And like Men's Health and Fitness will release like a video of them like, welcome to my house. This is my fridge and my gym.
Oh yeah, and you're like,
and they would talk about their workouts. Yeah, they talk about their workouts, what they do specifically, and then the fact that you mentioned the trap bar deadlift. I remember his trainer saying like, this was our main thing that we would do every single day.
Every day.
I mean, like all the time.
I was like, thing. You did a compound movement, like a deadlift every single day.
Yeah, I mean, to get like, he wanted to get build size, and this is the best movement to do to build size, and that's what like stuff like that they would say.
Oh yeah,
it's ridiculous.
It's like he gained 30 pounds of muscle in 2 weeks,
and I'm like, he doesn't even look like he gained like half that.
Like, I mean, he looks bigger.
He's definitely bigger, but not just muscle. So
I think I swear to God, they always say like 30 pounds. I don't know if they're inflating by like.
It's like when Jonathan Majors.
Jonathan Majors is like a totally different. Like,
okay, wait, but like it's just whenever I saw this interview where he says like, oh, no, not Jonathan Majors, Hugh Jackman. My bad.
Oh, okay.
He was like, no, it's because I thought I got confused. Hugh Jackman, he said that he was cutting and he was eating 6,000 calories.
That makes no fucking sense.
And I was just like, I was on like 6,000 calories and I was trying to lose weight, and I'm like, what? And like he would only eat, chicken, rice, and like green beans. He said green beans.
Okay.
And I was like, okay. And I'm like, what? Like the amount of like olive oil you probably put on to get 6,000 calories, if that.
So you're like, how much chicken did you eat, man?
Yeah.
Like green beans are like
chicken thighs, maybe then.
Yeah, not even. No.
It's like it's not enough.
That's comparable, like 4 ounces. We're getting off topic. 130 to like. Sorry, guys. Separate thing. Overall, what did you think of this?
I loved it. I thought it was really good. Definitely worth your time if you get to see it in theaters, to be honest.
I think it's doing well.
Yeah.
I mean, it has a really high audience score. It's at like 94%.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. And 94% on critic scale as well.
Yeah.
What's your score?
4 out of 5.
4 out of 5, really?
Yeah.
I am giving this a 4.5 out of 5. I loved this quite a bit. It left a pretty big impact on me while I was watching it. And the whole auditorium smelled like beer. But
dude, I can't. I am. Yeah, I don't think I'm ever gonna go to the movies with you.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what it is.
I have like a thing. But
I have a thing that just attracts people, making like some type of disturbance in the
to
theater.
Me.
Just to you.
Yes.
I can see it happening where it's like someone spills their drink on you.
Yeah,
and then you would still, and it's like a scene that's happening where it's like very impactful,
and they're like, sorry, and
sorry.
They're like, dude, just...
and they're like, sorry.
You're like, no. Like, dude, just let me be wet. You're like, oh yeah. Overall, Erwin, what are they gonna do?
They're gonna like, comment, and subscribe.
Please do. What's up next?
Dude, I don't know.
I know.
Sinners
and
Daredevil, Born Again.
Yeah, I'm
excited for both of those.
Next week, I'm so fucking excited. I'm very excited for what we have to talk about next week.
Yes.
But thank you guys again so much for listening and watching. We will see you next time.